Oh, oh.
Yeah.
That's
Put
right.
that
See,
one on the reels in the
what's in our minds and everything is when that woman is arrested, she's going to be raped, she's going to be abused, she's going to be mistreated. But so far, what we have found it when she is arrested by the authorities, she has a shield put around her that allows her to be a witness. And also in the prisons, if she has to serve there, she is a witness to the other women, and they've got to let her out because the Holy Spirit is doing too much in that jail.
It's incredible.
All right, that's off the subject, but it's on the subject.
Well, Nick, it just makes me think because you say, in the movie The Insanity of God, we've heard you say, different opportunities. You said that the Bible, it's like the Bible's coming alive. It's coming to life when you hear these stories of believers' persecution living out. And you're seeing, a 20th century Daniel in the lion's den, 20th century Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. And I feel like, when we listen to the song, Is He Worth It? We feel like it's another element of bringing these stories to life. We're bringing to life this Yemeni woman. We're bringing to life these people that are arrested and imprisoned for their faith.
Well, you've just introduced the song, but I would like Erskin to take a moment to how we came to call it that, and talk about the building of the song and then what happened to it after we left that meeting and how it just had to stay in the cocoon for a while.
Yeah, no, that's great. This is good for people to know because there's a lot of people who, they'll catch lightning in a bottle or think that things just kind of happen overnight. But this is, the genesis of the song happened relatively quickly, as we were talking about. Once an idea or a story was conveyed, once it was passionately expressed, there's lines, there's words, there's ways to talk about that then became immediately obvious. And one of the people that we looked at in that meeting was Jim Elliott, in whom, if you're familiar with his work in South America and with the Aka Indians and just the whole impetus of his life as he loses his life for the sake of reaching this tribe that doesn't know Christ, he's remembered as saying before that happened, he is no fool who gives what he cannot keep to gain possession of what he cannot lose. And so with that in mind, we actually wanted to in some way honor that, recognize that as a common phrase that we could use in the song. And so the song actually has that phraseology in the chorus of the song. I'll give what I can't keep to gain what I can't lose. And so that became a part of the song, using what is familiar in people's minds, what is, accepted already in people's understanding of when we're talking about persecution, we're talking about something that is completely different than the Western way of thinking about life, which is safety first, which is we need to make sure that everybody is, taken care of and every factor is considered before we make any motion. No, the gospel already commands us to make the motion, to go and make disciples. And so we were inspired by that. But this song probably sat on a recording and demo for about 3.5, maybe 4 years. And I knew the song because I helped record it. But Nick and I would go and we would do conferences together. And he would say, hey, play the song. So I'd play the song. And, almost every conference, several people would come up and they would say, I'm looking for through your CDs. Where's that song at? And I'm thinking, that song doesn't exist outside of just me knowing it and me playing it and, having enjoyed the time that we were spending together. But the song doesn't exist anywhere outside of right now. So buy your tickets now. So anyway, it got to a point in which Nick was encouraging me. He's like, hey, you should record the song. And out of deference and respect to the other writers that were there who, have a more prolific body of work than myself, I thought, well, maybe if they'll record it, then their platform, their influence will help the song to go to the levels that I think the song should go. And, he just kept asking me about the song. I'd play it and he'd say, well, I think you need to record the song. You need to record the song. And so we prayed about it, my wife and I, Kelly, and I said, I feel like that is really what needs to happen. I don't know, where it can go, but I'm going to record the song. Well, we got around to recording the song right about the time that the entire world shut down. And so we
Right.
have this song that was recorded, and world, watch out, because here comes the song that is going to change your guys' lives. And nobody is in the music industry doing anything at that point. And so it's just kind of one of those things where it was, kind of looked like, well, good effort. You gave it a good old college try, and, maybe 6 or 7 people will be able to hear it when you travel around. And I thought, well, Lord, we've done everything that I think we were supposed to do. And at least people will be able to hear at the conferences. And if that's all you intended for it, then to God be the glory. And then I guess, Nick, if you want to pick it up from there.
Well, I'm older. My memory might be faulty, but we're in the first house that we've ever partially owned after moving 38 times. And I remember having talked to Erskin and looking out of the kitchen window into a grove of trees that are 80 to 100 and some feet tall, and way too big. The 2 people put their arms around it, and I'm just looking at the glory of God and thinking about this song. And then I talked to Ruth about it. We prayed about it, and just at that moment, we said it's not a song that needs to be just released to a radio station. It needs to be sung, both audibly and on video. And so we talked around to some of those that we take advice from, and we just said, Erskin, do whatever you can to get this song where it will honor God and make people listen, and also honor the genesis of the song. People who have some of them are living for Jesus now, and some of them that we honored in the song have already heard the well done from God. They've already gone home. But I mean, I can picture Erskin singing that song, and I'm looking out all over creation, and I just said, it's time, Lord, for Genesis 1:1 to take again, and said, Erskin, just go and talk to your cronies and whatever it takes to make a video of this song.
My band of thieves.
Let's just go, and a band of brothers and sisters, and let's get this thing out where people can access it. And to me, sometimes things start with a slow burn. Sometimes they start at the top and have a fast descent. But I think this song, like the Insanity books and movie and materials, it's going to be multi-generational, and people are going to be referring to it, playing it, redoing it. But I think it's just one of the most powerful songs I've ever heard. And the question it asks demands an answer. The question it asks doesn't demand a vote, doesn't need a Bible study or discussion, and doesn't need a focus group. It is just one of those Old Testament moments. Choose this day whom ye shall serve. But for me and my house, I will serve the Lord. And in that, through the New Testament, I will say, no matter what comes, whether it's the death of a son or our experience, most of the believers wiped out in Somalia, but going to 650 believers in persecution in 72 countries and learning from that, Jesus is worth it. And no one sings it nor brings the authenticity to the words of the song that I know better than Erskin does.
That's very kind of you. I want to give a quick shout out to Lifeway, who allowed us to use footage from the documentary series as well to put together a music video. And yes, I did call my creative cronies that were out there, and I said, hey, there's a possibility of making and I don't want this just to be like some halfway done video. We had 2 full-time professional director and somebody to shoot the film who worked together on this, and I think the project came together masterfully. And just to put sort of near story to what it is that we're talking about for the audience. I was in West Texas about a week and a half ago. And normally when I'm on stage and I'm performing and doing different things, I'm looking at the audience. I'm, paying attention to what's there. I'm trying to be all present. Well, they had their television set up in such a way that the video that was playing in the background, I could actually see with great clarity. And so I got about 3/4 of the way through the song, and I don't watch the video. I mean, I'm concentrating on singing the notes so that people can hear the song and not detract from anything else that's going on there. And I got about 3/4 of the way through the song, and I thought, oh my goodness, this is beyond what I'm capable of doing. The Lord had to intervene in this process at so many points to bring this to the place where it was at. I was overwhelmed, and I'm up there thinking, okay, Erskin, it's probably not professional for you just to stop in the middle of the song and just start crying, but I could not help myself from just weeping. And I managed to get to the end of the song with just barely a voice left. And the pastor, he just walked up after there was nothing more that could be done. There's nothing more that needed to be said. He just walked up on the stage with tears in his eyes, and he just gave me a hug. And I thought, that's the Lord. That's our God. And for his glory.
Wow.
There's nothing more that I can say about that. We'll just stop sharing that. There's nothing more that I can say. That interview can be seen in its entirety. If you go through the show notes for today, you can click down, you can figure out what's going on there, and you can watch the interview in its entirety. There's still more.